Good morning, guys. Yesterday was so much fun with the worst track submits. We will definitely do that again in the future. Today's video will be a bit more serious. It's all about the making of my beginning of the end track. That's the track that will be available by the time you're watching this video. And it's a tradition here on this channel every time to make a video about the release, everything it has to do with it, show you how I've made it, what different tracks and elements are in the song, and yeah, just basically just all the information about this one release. But first of all, it's time to finish this cup of coffee, try to find a hairdresser. I really need to fix this hair situation, and then doing the making of the beginning of the end track.
Or has it left you now?
I have to admit, I'm addicted to your worst track submits. I'm listening to everyone. It's stealing a lot of my time, but it's so much fun, and I'm trying to figure out a way how to share these worst track submits with all of you so that you all can have the same fun and experience all of them. But yeah, maybe at the end of the video. Let's now just get to the serious stuff and talk about my beginning of the end track. It's just too good. Okay, but now the beginning of the end track. And how do you like my new haircut? It looks probably less wild, it's way more manageable. I don't have to do anything with it and it doesn't look that messy. This is the project of the track. It has 32 individual tracks. Most of it is drums actually. There's not much going on in the track, to be honest. It's more about keeping it minimal, and the things that are in it, I just tried to make them as good as possible and make every element stand out and just sound polished. We have here maybe 10 tracks, just the drums that sound really nice and live. Then a sub-bass part, strings, a piano that is playing chords. We have the main guitar that is actually the main sound of the track and carrying the entire track. And of course the vocals by Kaylee. So let me just mute all of the tracks and play you each and every one, and if there's anything special that I made, I will let you know. We have first of all the kick. It's quite noisy actually, but you can't hear it in the mix, and that's what gives the kick a bit more character and helps it to cut through the entire mix. Then a simple top kick that just has a lot of click. A clap sound, just a sample with reverb, and I used the Neutron plugin to EQ it. Just some simple live hats. The thing that is sticking out the most out of the drum section is the head here at the end. It's actually a reversed crash or something, and it gives the track a uplifting sound and makes it a bit more interesting. This sound is quite loud. I mix it a bit louder than I usually would, just to have this transitional uplifting sound every bar. It really helps the track, and at the end when everything is playing, you can't really hear it that much anymore. But probably now that I told you about it, you will definitely hear it in the track. But I think if you just listen to the track without knowing it, it won't stick out, you won't notice it. And it's just really creating a nice groove and keeps the entire track going. Next up, some special live recorded drum loops, just to make it sound even more live. Here in this chorus section I actually have a second top kick. It's more like a head sound again, just to have even more emphasis on the kick during the chorus part. Next up is actually the sub-bass part. I created it with the Diva synth. It's just a very simple saw kind of bass line, just to sit in the bottom end and fill it out. I've actually just added to the bass an EQ, cutting away the low frequencies below 65 Hz. I also added a compressor for the sidechaining effect and the neutron plugin just to add a bit of exciter, the equalizer, the transient shaper and a compressor. Next up, the strings. I used the contact strings. I think they sound quite alright. Nothing compared to real strings, of course, but that's the best I can get. Of course not as good as real strings, but that's as close as I can get without spending a whole lot of money or trying to record the strings. It's quite difficult to record them, quite difficult to play them, extremely difficult to find someone that can actually play them really nice. And if you want to really make it sound epic, you will actually need at least 4 people playing the strings. And since they're actually just meant more for a filler layer sound for the piano, it's alright to use the one from the Contact library. Speaking of the piano, that's the next part. And these are also the main chords of the track. The piano, as you know from a couple of videos ago, is always the grandeur from the Contact library. I used a creative filter to be able to fade it in and out. And again, the neutron plugin just to EQ it a bit and compress it. That's the main guitar sound of the track. I actually bounced it out from the, what is it called again? From the Native Instrument guitar rig thing. So I can't show you what settings I applied there, but I have here a cue to get rid of the low end. I used this time the sample delay to make the guitar extremely wide. Usually I'm using the S1 imager to make the guitars wide, but in this case I needed something to make them even wider. So I used the sample delay. I delayed one of the channels. I think I delayed the right channel by 641 samples. So this makes it extremely wide, almost into the anti-phase. But this way I have more space for the vocals in the middle. So in this track the vocals sit nice in the middle. They have a little bit of reverb to give them space. And the guitar is sitting really right next to it on the speakers. So you have the vocals in the center right in your face. The guitar on the side giving like a nice melody that adds something to the vocals. And below you have the piano and the bass and the kick, and on top the strings. I think I made already a vlog about this layering of a track and where to place elements. I think it's a really old one. It's one of the weekly vlogs, I think, but I will link it up down below. You can still learn something from it. I think that's really important to know where and how to place elements. And the last part here in this track, the vocals by Kaylee.
I still remember that lifetime ago. We were someone else then. Who are we now? Who are we now? Here at the beginning of the end.
So yeah, that's the track. Quite simple but effective. That's my way of producing music. I usually have 50-60 tracks and then I reduce it back down to the essential things that are necessary. I don't like to have things in my tracks that are not needed, that don't serve any purpose. And in this case, all that is needed is really the guitar, the vocals, and some of the surrounding just to make a track that is complete. And if you're a subscriber from the very beginning, you might remember the instrumental. This track was actually supposed to be released with another singer and songwriter. Her name was Oda from Norway, but unfortunately it got cancelled just a week before release, and then Kaylee just made an amazing job replacing it. I even like her version better, so it was a bit unfortunate, but at the end turned out to be great. The track is now probably, I'd say, like 8 months old and all done. It just took quite some time to get it finally released and everything sorted out. So I'm really happy to be able to share this one with you. So if you're interested to listen to the entire track, I will put down below a link where you can just listen to the entire thing for free and enjoy it, share it, just have fun with this track. It was a whole lot of fun making it. And now it's just time to get back to work. There are a lot of other tracks waiting for me to finish them. I'm done with another productive day in the studio. Now I just need to figure out what to do with the worst track submits. I just feel so bad that I'm the only one that can listen to them. And these tracks are just too good to not be shared with all of you. And I think I have an idea how to solve this problem, but I'm not sure if it will work. At the end, it's entirely up to you if this will work or not. So here's my idea. I will create a SoundCloud account, and I will share down below the URL. I will share down below the password and also the login. So every one of you that made the worst track submit can go there, log in, upload their track, put their track title, your artist name or a fake artist name. Put into the description your real SoundCloud, a nice little text, some fun stuff, what you did, what you think about, what you listen to the track, whatever you want, and then please log out again so that other people can do the same thing. If no one of you screws up, if no one of you misuses this opportunity, this will actually work. Please don't make any random stuff with it. Please don't delete someone else's track or change any of the description or stuff like that. It's probably more a social experiment than trying to create a SoundCloud page with the worst tracks. So let's see what will happen. It's entirely up to you. And I will try to figure out a better way to do it the next time. Maybe create a forum or something where you guys can upload your stuff or share your links and maybe even give each other feedback. Just one of many ideas, but more on that in another video. That's now it for tonight. I really need to eat something. Didn't have anything today. Machst mir gerade meinen Dialog kaputt.
Dialog oder Monolog?
Nein, das ist ein Dialog. Ein 10.000-facher Dialog bald.
Ja?
Yeah. Soon. 10K. We got a lot of comments underneath the video yesterday.
Why?
I don't know.
What kind of comments?
Nice comments.
Okay. Then it's fine.
Yeah. That's dinner for tonight. Saure Schlangen. Sour snakes.